Om Sri Sai Ram. Let us commence today's session with the offering of a heartfelt prayers at the Divine Lotus feet of our beloved Swami. Namaste Vishwarupaya, Namaste Gnanadayine, Namaste Satchidanande, Namaste Sathya Saine, Namaste Prema Rupaya, Namaste Paramatmane, Namaste Shirdinathaya, Namaste Sathya Saine. Om Sri Sai Ram. My loving salutation at the lotus feet of our beloved Bhagawan on behalf of the Sai family, our friends, our relations, and the entire Sai Parivar. And on behalf of everybody, I am very grateful to Bhagawan for having arranged yet another puppet show through the medium of this wonderful Zoom connectivity. I have been given a very amazing and very rather strange title for my talk. It says Atmanivedanam. I suppose this is the first time in my career with Sai that I have been given this particular title of the subject, Atmanivedanam. As we all know that the word Atma actually in Sanskrit means the inner being, our intrinsic identity. We call it soul. So I have decided to make a free translation of this particular word Atmanivedanam as a pure, selfless submission from my heart. When we talk about Atmanivedanam, it also means that you are making your own introduction. And this reminds me of a very beautiful incident which happened and which happens to be a very important date in my life. It was 15th of January, year 2011. I was in Prasanthi Nilayam, and it was in the evening I received the message that Swami wanted me to be with him at 8:30 in the evening. Exactly at 8:25, I was there at the Sai Yajur Mandir gate. I sent the message. Brother Sathya very kindly came and took me to Swami's room. Now let me give you some information that there are two receptions when you enter into the gate of Sai Yajur Mandir. The outer reception, where normally people are allowed to get inside and wait for the further instructions, whether he needs to go in the dining hall, or there is yet another reception room, which is inner reception room. Brother Satyajit took me to the inner reception room, and as soon as I reached inside, I found Swami sitting, looking at me, and I did the Sashtang Dandavat Pranam. I offered my salutations to him, and then I was on my knees, and he gave me the instruction to sit down. This was a very important event in my life, and it has changed the course of my life to a very great extent. I suppose the revelations made by me, some of you might have read it about this particular incident which took place. I will not call it as an interview. I will call it as an interview. Swami was revealing himself. Mind you, we are talking about 15th of January year 2011, and Swami took Mahasamadhi on 24th of April in the same year. So it was a question of only few months, which of course I was not aware of it. Neither does anybody. Some of the revelations which I have disclosed on the public media has outlined only about what Swami had mentioned to him, but today I'm going to talk about my own personal being, because sister has given me the title of my talk as Atmanivedanam. During the course of the discussions that we were having, mind you, Swami had taken the cue, and I must make it very clear for the beginning, you see, at the very start. Swami was speaking very slowly, no doubt about it, because he was not in very good shape health-wise. But his speech was very crystal clear. And because I was virtually touching his knees, there is no question, there was no fan, there was no air condition. So there was no question of any disturbance as such. Practically the noise level was zero, or maybe even minus. So for me to make the statement that I understood whatever he said word by word cannot be denied, neither it can be challenged. Neither it can be misunderstood by me or by anyone else. During the course of these beautiful incidents which happened, Swami asked me at one stage, mind you, the interview was very long, because Swami wanted to listen from me and Swami also wanted me to listen to him. That was primary objective. He asked me that, Popat, who are you? Now, instead of giving a philosophical answer that Baba, I am Atma and you are Paramatma and I am your reflection and you are the motivator, and number of wonderful things one can think about it, I said that, Baba, I am your slave. Now, if you look at the Oxford Dictionary or the Collins Dictionary or the American Dictionary, the word slave means that a person is sold himself to a master and he works for him throughout his life. There is no question of retirement, losing the job. Once you become a slave, you are there for the lifetime. Age, your appearance, your qualification, your status, your desires and ambitions have got no meaning whatsoever. It's a complete explicit and implicit obedience to the master. There are no expectations either. I said, Baba, I am your slave. And Swami himself repeated, Puppet, you are my slave. I said, yes, Swami. He said, do you understand the meaning of being a slave? I said, yes, Swami. With your grace, I do. Then Swami asked me, he came a little closer to me, like I'm coming closer to the screen. And he said, if you are a slave, then tell me, who am I? I was not prepared for this answer. Neither I was prepared for this question either. I said, Baba, you are my master. You are my everything. Then he asked me that if I'm your master, then what is your duty as a slave? I said, Swami, my duty is to follow your guidance, instructions, orders, directives, whichever one would like to use, which nothing but amplifies and explifies his command, his instructions. To follow it explicitly and implicitly without using my own wish, my own ideas, my own expertise, and I accept it in totality. Mind you, the word totality is a very important word. When I was in the army, I was only 19 years and few months. As a matter of fact, I was selected and I joined the Indian Military Academy when I was 19 years and 2 months old. I had run away from home. My parents didn't know about it. They thought that I was studying in the Ferguson College, you see, and I was doing well. Well, the situation was totally different, you see. I had run away from there. I gave up my study. I didn't complete my graduation, which I later on did it, incidentally. Just for your benefit to know that, yes, I am a graduate from the Jammu and Kashmir University when I was posted. And after the 65 war, I did appear for my graduation and I passed out in first class with my main subject as political science. Anyway, the point is that when I was in the army, my instructor and later on my colonel, who at that time was major during the wartime, when I was asked to go to the forward area, my unit was based in Srinagar and I was appointed as a detachment commander to be on my own and carry out the assignments in totality. And while I was saluting him and leaving and about to take his permission to do quick march and get on with the job, because all these soldiers, those who were working under me, they were waiting for my instructions and orders. We were ready to move. And my colonel told me that, young lieutenant, listen very carefully. Do or die, not to question why. Now, this was the interpretation of explicitly and implicitly obeying the instructions of the seniors. Here we are talking about God Almighty, whom we love, whom we worship, whom we look upon for everything. Physical, mental, intellectual, psychic, philosophical. In every respect, we look upon him as a classic example to set the guidelines, his own example. And also, we look upon him to come across any obstacles that are removed without our asking for it, no matter how immense they are. So, brothers and sisters, having understood and having had this background, I said, Baba, as a slave, my duty is to follow your instructions explicitly and implicitly, not giving any consideration about my physical well-being or my financial hardship or my family obligations or my social responsibilities. My mind is focused only on one thing, like my colonel said, do or die, not to question why. Brothers and sisters, to the best of my knowledge, I would like to confess that to the best of my ability and capacity and capability, I have, during the course of my association with Bhagavan Baba, did my utmost, honestly, sincerely, and seriously, to follow all his instructions in totality. Whether it was a group going in a jumbo aircraft from United Kingdom, Heathrow Airport Terminal 3, that time Terminal 4 was not even constructed, or going for Grama Seva with a small bunch of young, promising boys from United Kingdom who later on became IT consultants, engineers, managing directors of the company. Or at a later stage when I started going for sadhana camp, when very serious people were selected and we were going there exclusively for sadhana. There was nothing on agenda. Self-purification with consistency, persistency, and equanimity, and honesty, and loyalty, and integrity, and intensity. Intensity per excellence. And after that, when Bhagavan decided to leave this body and be with us now, I always say that he's a loving God, he's a living God. If you feel it, he's living, he's next to you. If you don't have that kind of intense feeling, then only he knows where he is. I remember I was standing near the Ganesh gate, you see, after the evening bhajan, and one of the faculty member, who is a very senior guy and a very smart person, he came to me, you see. I was about to actually get out of the Ganesh gate and then go back to my room. And he came to me and he said, Sai Ram sir, Popat sir, when did you come? Blah, blah, blah. And he said, Popat sir, during those days, you see, there was a, by the way, the background was that in Prasanthi, there were so many rumors going on that one fine morning, Bhagawan will get up from his Mahasamadhi state and he will come out. The other very favorite rumor was that Bhagavan will appear suddenly. Maybe in Sai Kulwant Hall or maybe near Ganesh Gate or anywhere in Prasanthi Nilayam. And then he will walk over to the ground and he will be in Yajur Mandir and everything will be back to normal. All these rumors were going not logically, but lovingly. Because people were feeling the pain and the separation. So our young faculty members, he asked me that, Popat sir, when is Swami going to appear? And he was very serious in asking this question. Like a little child asking for a chocolate, which he loves it very much. So I looked at him, I scanned him actually, to be honest with you. And I told him, I said, when did he disappear that he has to appear? When did he disappear? Just because of the fact that you are not able to see him and feel him and talk to him and touch him, does it mean that he is not there? My mother passed away long time ago. I was born only when she was 15 years old. When I used to walk with her sometimes in the Bombay high streets, people used to think that we are brothers and sisters. And I could not attend her funeral either because by the time she passed away and I was married, and myself and my wife, my home minister, Suru, we were in Ranchi. And I was the adjutant of the regiment commanding 1,000 people, and I got the message that mother is unwell. And I did go. But I was given only 10 days time by my colonel because my presence in unit was far more important also, according to him. When we were coming back from Bombay to Ranchi in a first-class compartment in train, it was 1.5 days journey, non-stop. And when I reached my unit, and same evening, my dispatch rider, we call him motorcyclist, he came and delivered a message which was from my brother, that mother passed away. But do I not feel him? Do I not feel her? Whenever anything is prepared in the house and which my mother used to make, I always remember first and I tell Suru that you made it exactly like Taraben. When she used to make something very nice, and which is my favorite, and I used to say that Taraben always used to wait for me and give it to me. So if you people remember your parents and you don't miss them and expect them to appear, why do you expect Baba to appear? Why did you feel him? Baba once told me very beautifully in the interview. He said, Popat, first feel it, then know it, then experience it, and finally then realize it. Why don't we feel him? What's the problem? Is it because that we are so much attached that we cannot remain detached with his physicality? That we are so body conscious that we cannot feel his consciousness? I leave this question to be answered by each one of you tonight before you go to bed. First of all, ask yourself that I'm sure many of you have lost somebody in the family, isn't it? Maybe your sister or brother or uncle or aunt or anybody. Do you miss them? First of all, you don't miss them. You look at the picture and you remember them. And you remember how you used to play around together, how you used to go for the cricket, how you used to play and go in for a movie, where the hero was Devanand. Then you used to get lost. Let it be for 5 minutes. But that's a meditation. You are meditating on your uncle, your friend, your mother, your father. Then what is stopping us in meditating on God? And remembering what are all things that he has done right from the time you were born and right from the time that you are listening to this talk. There must be some reason for it, isn't it? Whether he has changed or whether you have changed. I leave it to you to decide. whether the ball is shuffling between the two court or whether you are holding it and you're not rebounding it. Brothers and sisters, this is a very important thing when you come with a living master as your contemporary. You see, when you go to Krishna's temple in Hare Rama Hare Krishna temple, where we go normally very often, myself and Suru, after the morning walk at the Jew beach, you go there, you attend the Aarti and you come back, and then, you see, for you, that program is over for the day. You are not attached to that, either the statue of Lord Krishna. Yes, you love him, but you don't miss him either. Because you know that whenever it is possible, you can always jump into the car and then go to the same temple and stand in front of him, and maybe you will be pushed around by 10 people, and then you will find that, oh, I've come at the wrong time, and then you are worried about your new shoes which have been bought over for 25 pounds. I hope that will remain so. My brothers and sisters, the reason why I'm raising this question is because it is Atma Nivedanam. I'm reminding my own self. Do I really love him, and do I really miss him? And do I really believe that he should appear? And if he has to appear, in what manner, in what stature, in what symbolic way you want him to appear? Physically, mentally, psychically, spiritually? Huh? Have you asked these questions to your own self or not? Have you come to any decision on that basis or not? I love him. What do you mean by you love him? Huh? I love Suru. Next year we'll be completing 50 years. I love him, no doubt about it. We have been living together. We are always together. The only difference is that when Suru goes to sleep, she's on her own. And so is Puppet. Whereas Baba, even in my sleep, he is there. Once he very beautifully told me, Sai Darshan, Swapna Darshan, Sapna Darshan, Sathya Darshan, Sathya Darshan, Sakshat Darshan. Show me one man in this world who is very powerful, who is mighty, who is brilliant. His IQ is 220. Huh? Ask him to give a challenge and prove it that he has had a dream of Baba. Nobody can dream about him unless he wills it. Huh? Like nobody can go inside his interview room unless he calls it. The divine will must prevail. What I'm trying to tell you is that what is stopping us in having that intimacy? You see, when we got engaged, and then I was working for a company in Bombay, you see, and Suru was a student doing her graduation in one of the famous college in Bombay. And she used to come all the way from her home. She was living in countryside, in a big estate. But my mind was always looking at the watch all the time that 1 o'clock is my appointment with Suru. And we are going for a lunch. And then I told somebody in the office to look after my job. And then we are going for a movie which was released on Friday evening. My mind was focused on that, nothing important to me. And whenever there was an appointment and we had fixed the landmark that yes, we are going to meet at that place, I was the first person to reach there because I was so keen. I was so crazy to meet her. I was so anxious to see her. And the moment she comes, I look at the watch and I said, I'm here. Let's go. Ah. Do I feel that intimacy with Baba? When I'm told that you have to go for bhajan, or you have to do this prayer, or Papa said you are going to give a talk. Many of you must have seen me in front of Swami giving a talk. If you're not, then see, there are at least there are 50 talks on YouTube. You look at my exuberance. I'm not worried about the grammar. I'm not an English scholar. Neither I want to be. I want to express my love, and love has got no language barrier. The little child, when she cries, she doesn't remember the ABCD. Does he cry in the rhythm? Is she bothered about the alphabets? Is she also worried about, I'm talking about 6-year-old child. Is she worried about the grammar? No. She is crying because she wants to meet her mother and call her and say that, Mama, give me. Where is my pen? Where did you keep it? If the little child can have that kind of intimacy and intimate relationship and so much of love for the master and mama, then why can't Ajit Popat can have that kind of intensity? What is stopping me? Does it cost any money? Do you have to sacrifice your position? Do you have to make any compromise about your status? No. You are what you are. And what you will be. And what you should be. How I play with the words. Ask yourself. And if you find the answer, please do let me know. I will also learn from you. I'm not trying to tell you that I'm very expert, by the way. I am. Don't get away with this idea also that I'm an idiot. No. I've been trained by my master to meet any situation, any difficulty, very bravely, courageously, and efficiently. I'll give you one example. It was in Prasanthi Nilayam. You see, Swami called me. And he was standing outside the interview room and he said, Popat, I want you to come to my residence immediately after bhajan. Meanwhile, arrange for a taxi. I'll give you further instructions when you meet me. After saying this, he immediately disappeared, to use that faculty member's word. No, he didn't disappear. He went inside. And as soon as the Omkar started, he went inside the mandir and sat down. When the bhajans were over, he looked at me and he said, he did like this. Popat needs a reminder. So he said, I'm waiting. Immediately after, Swami, by the time he must have reached home, I ran, I told Auntie Shauri, I must run. I must go through the ladies and Swami is waiting for me. When I went there, he was in the reception. During those days, Swami was residing in the annexee of Purnachandra Hall. And he made me sit next to him. And he said, he gave me certain instructions. And his first instruction was that, is your car ready? I said, yes, Swami. Meanwhile, I had rang up Babu. Babu that time was operating from Prasanthi Nilayam. And I had arranged for a car. And I said, yes, Papa, car is ready. He said, you're not going to the room, huh? I said, Baba, I'm not going anywhere. He said, get inside the car and go. And Mr. Bhutia, who was then the custodian of the Whitefield Hall, and he's still very much alive, and I met him very recently. He will be standing at the gate and he will give you further instructions. I went. As per the instruction, I was supposed to be back for the bhajan. Finished the work. I was to meet the managing director and the chairman of Reserve Bank of India and discuss certain things about Sri Sathya Central Trust. Can you believe that? Am I a finance graduate? Huh? Am I a MCom, BCom, PhD in commercial science? No. Have I ever met the chairman of? No. Swami had fixed up everything. I was surprised when I didn't know about it. When I went there and met Mr. Bhutia, he told me, Popat, you have to, this is the address. He had a slip in his hand. He said, this is the address. Go to the town and meet this gentleman and he will take you to the Reserve Bank of India commercial department and you will meet so-and-so and the rest, everything will happen. And you carry out the instructions of what Swami has laid down. I said, he has not told me anything. He said, he will tell you. He will contact you. I said, when? He said, at the right time. We think that Swami does everything at the last moment. Never go away with this crazy idea. He does everything at the right moment. Mother will not feel the baby who is crying at 3 o'clock in the morning. She only does a tap, 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 beta. She understands this language. Go to sleep. Milk will be given only when 7:30, not before that. Otherwise, she will lose motion. My brothers and sisters. The problem was that the work involved was so delicate and so intricate. So much was at stake. And Swami had the confidence that Puppet will do it. I don't know. The reason why I'm saying is that you all have that confidence, and you all must have it. And you are all capable of doing that in his eyes. Whether you believe it or not, whether that's your problem. Whether you are qualified or not, that is somebody else's problem. He knows that he has elected you. When he asked me to give a first talk, we were in the interview room, and Swami told me that Puppet, tomorrow is, actually I was supposed to go to Bombay and then take a flight to London. He told me, where are you going? Che, tomorrow, Paduka Puja. Tomorrow you give first talk. Huh? And by the way, this safari which I am wearing right now, it was given to him by me. Baba gave it to me, and he also told me that just now go and get this safari stitched, and tomorrow morning you come wearing this new dress. Don't come in Jabba Lenga, don't come in Kurta Pajama. Che, you are going to give a talk in Sai Kulwantal, and it's a huge, massive function. Huh? Thousands of people have come from Madras and Kerala and all these places. It's a Paduka Puja, it's a big event. Huh? Coimbatore people have come. Puppet. Suru was sitting next to me. This was in the inner room, and she immediately told Baba that Baba Puppet doesn't know anything about anything. You see? So please don't put us in a very embarrassing situation, because he has never given a talk like this. You see? So please. I mean, he gives the talks to the group and all that. That's a small thing, it's within the family, within the closed door. Here we are talking about Sai Kulwantal, and people all over the world, they are going to watch this ceremony and all that. And Swami said, Amma, don't worry. And you know what? I'm repeating his word. You can check it out with my wife when you meet her. He said, you Puppet, make sure you stand. Don't fall. Rest, I will do it. Is that clear? Go. If you want to, if you want to connect yourself with me, listen to that talk. And then you will be surprised that this is the first time I was giving a talk in public. I used to give a long talks to my Jawans, in the army, but they were all related to the profession and the art of dying, not art of living, as Pandit Ravi Shankar ji says. We were trained to die. If you don't know the technique of dying, then you can't live either. When death becomes so important, then you realize the value of life. So, what I'm trying to tell you is this. Yes, coming back to this episode of Reserve Bank of India, the job was done as he wanted it. The only thing was that I was late. I could not reach in time. So I made the phone call to Baba's residence. And Swami, actually, at that moment of time, he was having a meeting with some people. And Mr. Chiranjit Rao picked up the phone. Swami had given me a telephone number that if you have any problem or if you have any hassle, you call me on this number. So I spoke to Chiranjit Rao. I said, Sir, Sai Ram, sir. He was a very tough guy, He was like what shall I say? He was like a field marshal of Prasanthi Nilayam. I said, Sir, I want to speak to Swami. He said, Swami is busy in the meeting. You tell me. Because he had given me the instruction before he went for the meeting that if Puppet calls you, leave a message and tell him. I'll give him the instruction. So I said, Sir, first of all, the job is done, but I'm late. So he asked me, what time are you likely to reach? I said, I should be reaching there between 8:30 and 9. He said, okay, I will tell Swami. Next morning, when I went to the veranda and I was sitting in front of the interview room, Swami came and asked me, where is the report? Now, luckily at 12 o'clock at night, same night, the previous night, I had remembered that Swami insists that whatever has happened during the day, I must write it down and give it to him in writing. So it becomes a document. It's not a hearsay. This is how he has trained me. So I had prepared the report very briefly, but covering all the salient points. And luckily, when he said, where is the report? And I immediately gave the envelope and I said, Baba, here is it. He said, Bangaru. Chala Bangaru. Tere ko malum hai na? You know it, I will ask for it. What time did you go to sleep? And where did you eat? I said, no, I didn't have dinner. You didn't have dinner? No. You're fasting? I said, no. There was no time. I was tired. I wanted to sleep. But I was inside very happy that your job has been done. More than my happiness, Swami was very happy that this puppet has done it. That kind of joy, you can give it to the master when you become his slave. You are not looking for promotion. You are not looking for increment. You are not looking for first-class travel and 5-star hotel hospitality. You couldn't care a damn. I don't need it. I'm not a bloody beggar. Pardon my saying. I want to see the smile and the spark in his eye. That satisfaction, that confidence, the ray of hope that this boy is my boy and he's going to do it. Hell or heaven. He will not die crying in ICU. He will die when he's on the job. And on his lips will be, Baba, I love you. I need you. I deserve you. Huh? Kaisa hai? What I'm trying to tell you is this. Let's go back. No matter how difficult the situation is, no matter how inefficient you can be, no matter how much you can do goof up, it doesn't matter. No matter how many times you have failed and collapsed. But when he gives you a job, he gives you all the technicalities and makes you empowered, encouraged, and enlightened so that you can finish the job in no time. And you become time master. You understand? If you don't understand, then Baba once told me, he was giving me a very big lecture in the interview. He was telling me good things about many good things. And he told me, Papa, do you understand? I said, yeah. I was very frank with him. You see, I had no formalities because I belong to him. The dearest and the nearest person is a slave. He takes all the liberty with the master. Master, aapne khana theek se nahi khaya. You are stretching your leg. Why didn't you take rest? Go and sleep now. Okay, I'll wake you up at 4 o'clock. You are not gone for the tennis today. Why? Mama, madam was telling me that you are taking it life very easy. Che, you must do it. You have to live very long. No formality. So he asked me, he said, yeah. He said, Baba, he said, understand. Stand under the master and you will understand. Are we prepared to stand under him? No. Are we prepared to work for him? Are we prepared to follow the instruction in totality, or are we going to use our logic and our brain and our useless ideas of crazy situations and then all the uncertainties that you can think of it? Or are you going to face the situation and with the confidence and with the conviction that, yes, bloody hell, nobody can touch me. Even the death will have to take permission from me that, can I? Shall I? Are you ready? Or when Baba materialized the Navratna ring for me, actually he is amazing. That's the reason why I love him so much. I have become his slave. He made the ring for me, but all the 9 rungs, grahas didn't appear. He was doing it in stages. Earlier he made out a ring, which was only gold and there were holes. There was no Navratna. Then he gave another, puff, and then one by one, in 9 different sequences, he made it. And then he gave it to me and he put it in my finger. And then he said something amazing. He said, Papa, no power on the earth can touch you now. You know why? This Navagraha, in front of that, this ring will protect you to an extent that all the Graha, Shani and Mangal and Rahu and Ketu and all these useless fellows, they will salute you because you belong to the master. What they can do to you? You're protected by him. I had cancer. Did I die? No. I had a heart problem and I got stents in his own hospital. And I'm still alive and I'm talking to you. What do you expect me to do? Do I have a brief? Do I have a script? Have I made any preparations? The idiots, those who think like that. I am the master slave. He knows how to get the work done by me and through me. Brothers and sisters, try and understand this situation. It is very common. I'm not telling you big Vedas, mantras, which will require translation, and then you will get confused, and then you will say whether this is the correct pronunciation or not. I'm not trying to confuse you from that point of view. Neither I want to show my mastery and expertise, which I in any case have. It's given by him. It's not mine. I got two eyes. It's not my eyes. My mother, when she made me in her womb, they appeared there. Actually, when I came out, I was sleeping. Do you understand? Try to understand. Stand under the master and you will understand. Swami once also told me, surrender. What is surrender, puppet? I am the sir you are under. That is surrender. Accept me as sir. Sit down at my lotus feet and learn. I will teach you the ways of living. I will teach you the ways of standing. I will tell you how to face the difficulty and yes, smile. How to become a leader. How to become my slave. You don't appoint anybody. You see, if you have to appoint a manager in the office, my brother Bharat Mamtura is the managing director of a bloody company. And when he has to appoint it as a manager or somebody, he will grow him, you see, and he will take 2-3 interviews and then he will ask him to go for medical and this, that, and all. There are so many paraphernalias and ask him to fill up 3 forms. And he will take 5 references from Tom, Dick, and Harry. And then finally he will make up his mind, and before that he will have his inner house meeting, inner circle meeting, and then he will find out that yes, he's the right person. In any case, but still he will be keeping him in probation. Bharat, you are listening to me, no? I hope so. He will be still kept on probation for 3 months. He is not yet confirmed. Whereas the moment Swami accepts you, he gives you are not on probation, you are appointed. You are on the job. He doesn't have to take any reference. His only reference is that you are a good man in his eyes. Whether you are an idiot, that is the world's problem. Try and understand. Surrender. He is sir and you are under. Doesn't matter how he treats you. Doesn't matter whether he talks to you or doesn't talk to you. He knows your heart is crying. He will come running to you. Pukare prem se koi wo nange paon aata hai. Swami doesn't wait to wear his chappal, his shoes, or his slippers. He runs. He comes running. Have you ever seen Swami coming with slippers on in the darshan? No. He doesn't do that. So, brothers and sisters, let's come to the main point now. He is no more with us now, you say. 24th of April, Baba took Mahasamadhi. Year 2011. 10 years have passed. How did you manage to live without him for 10 years? Who sustained you? Bonvita, Horlicks, vitamin C, A, B, C, D. Who sustained you? When you are down and under, who lifted you? Who cared for you? Your family. Are they capable? Or they have got their own limitations? Ask yourself these questions. Why do you look for anything outside when everything is inside? I don't understand. If you want to borrow something from somebody, then why don't you ask Baba for it? 3 Omkar and you tell him that Baba, today I'm not in a mood to recite all your mantras, please forgive me. Keep it aside. Tell the boys to do it later on when you come in the afternoon. They will sing very beautiful Vedam. My problem is right now this. Solve it. Do you rely upon him? Do you trust him? Believe you me, I have seen people 40 years with Swami physically, but mentally only for 5 years. And spiritually, he has yet to start. He doesn't trust him. Does he need reminders? Like I was asking, does he need to appear when he has not disappeared? How can he disappear? Has he taken my permission? Huh? I was sitting in the veranda, you see, during Grama Seva time, Brother Bharat, he had come with me a few times for the Grama Seva. There are so many people in London who know they had so much wonderful time with us. I'm grateful to all of them. I was sitting in the veranda and Baba came and told me, hey, Popat, Grama Seva mein gaya tha. Did you? I'm translating it for your benefit, you see, not for my benefit. Because some of you don't understand Hindi, you see. So, because you are all the cousins of Shakespeare, you see. Anyway, so he asked me, did you go for the Grama Seva? I said, yeah. He said, how was it? I said, Anandam. I mean, I should have said it in English, damn good. He told me, go inside. So he took me inside. Normally, when he used to take me inside, he will first switch on the light, then he will switch on the fan, and then he will go and stand near the chair, and his own chair, and he gives you a glance, and then he will say, Kucho. And then by the time you sit down, he has already sat down, and he said, tell me, what's the news? That day, he didn't switch on the light, he didn't switch on the fan, and he just stood there in the center of the room, and he said, Papa, what did you say outside? I said, Baba, you asked me a simple question. Did I go for the Grama Seva? My answer said, yes. And you asked me that how was it? And I said, Anandam. Damn good. He said, Anandam? Brahmanandam, Paramanandam, Nityanandam, Akhandanandam, Atmanandam, Advaitanandam, Ashwaryanandam, Premanandam, Yoganandam, Turyanandam. And then he put his hand on his chest and thumped it and he said, now Satchidanandam. Now Satchit Anandam. Do you understand, Papat? Go and sit there. Go. Get lost. That's my master. He's Satchit and Anandam. He's all knowing, all hearing, and all seeing. If somebody thinks that he's not listening to you, there is some problem. And the problem is you and me and not Baba. If the job is not being done by him, there must be a reason for it. The child wants to go to college when she's 6 years old. Will you send him? You are a multimillionaire. Maybe he is born in the Bill Gates family. Huh? Will you send him? Will principal allow him? He has to bloody well wait for his own turn. When he'll become 18 years or 16 years, I don't know how many years, if he keeps on failing, maybe at the age of 21, he will ultimately end up in college. But you don't expect father to pay just because he has got money, he will go and pay the fee and he will get admitted. Huh? You think it's a joke? If university or this college has got such a regulation, then Lord Almighty has also got certain criteria. No? Huh? There are some criteria, there are some qualification standards are to be met. Some portfolio has to be given without. You don't ask monkey to go and bring elephant. Can it happen? Looking at the size of elephant, he will run away. He will find the nearest tree. Bhagavan Ramakrishna Paramahansa was in Dakshineshwar. Number of devotees had come, you see. Tomorrow is Sunday. So during those days also, on Sunday, Swami Vivekananda and all the direct disciples used to be there. And then so many other Marwadi people, the rich people, and those who are counting half of the time money, they all came in. Then one of the devotee who had come there, he had brought a visitor with him, you see. So Master was in his Bhava Mudra, Prema Mudra and Brahma Mudra. And this man, he was naive. So he said, Master, who is the devotee? Sathya Maharaj was sitting there next to that person. Swami Vivekananda, young Naren, was also there. And Swami Shivananda, Tarak Maharaj also there. And Swami Master said that a devotee is one who doesn't make any mistake. There was complete pin drop silence. The guy who asked the question, he of course he couldn't catch it. But Swami Shashi Maharaj was sitting there, and he was He was an extremely brilliant man, you see. He raised his hand and he said, Master, how is it possible that a human being will not make mistake? So Master knew his inner metabolism and what is happening in his mind. And he said, he didn't give the reply. He said, Sasha, you do one thing, go to the Panchvati. Those of you who have been to Dakshineshwar, you know there is a master. Their master in the garden has planted 5 trees and they are known as Panchvati. He said, go and meditate. So Sashi Maharaj immediately got up and he bowed down to Master and he went. It was not very far from there. I went there year before last. I was invited by the Sathya Seva organization of West Bengal. And we were very fortunate to go in Master's room also. So Sashi Maharaj went there in Panchvati and after about, he was a very adept meditative man, you see. And within maybe maximum 1 minute, he's in deep meditation. Yeah, they were trained by like Master like that. We all have been trained by our Master. So after about half an hour, he came back and he sat down and Master just pointed at one spot and he said, sit down. He didn't say a word. And Sashi Maharaj also didn't say anything. And he didn't ask any further explanation. He didn't argue with Master. He only said, Thakur, that means Master, you are right. A devotee is one who doesn't make any mistakes. No. When you will make mistake, when you will do the things, when there will be doership, there will be no worship. If I give you a book, a poem written by one of the English giant, Tennyson, and if you don't understand the classic language of the English era, you will not understand it. You will require a dictionary. When you work with the Master, you know from his face. You won't believe it, but I'm telling you the truth. When I used to see Swami coming out from the Yaji Sai Ajur Mandir or Punachandra Hall, when he used to come out, I could tell you, I was telling in my own mind that today there will not be any interview. Or I was telling in my own mind that today he's not going to call, he will stop over there, but maybe he will not take any letters and he will come straight to the veranda. And it has happened many, many times. Why? How? Because I could see from his face. I do not have to go and ask for an astrologer to find out what is the mood of my mother. Huh? Taraven is Taraven. I must know her. She gave me birth. So, she gave me only birth. Baba gave me life. He must be knowing it more than anybody else, isn't it? If we are very close to mother and father, the physical one, how much close we must be to him? He must know it, isn't it? So Master said, the devotee doesn't do anything. He doesn't make any mistake because he doesn't do anything. He does only, he knows what his Master likes it. You see? How? From his appearance and from his face expressions, you know it. Baba ka mood kaisa hai. It was Baba's birthday, you see, and Shankar Mahadevan was supposed to give a concert, and then Kavita Krishnamurti had also come, and then there were another 3-4 groups had come, and then one very famous singers from the Andhra had also come. And in the morning, at about I think it was 4:30 in the morning, I was getting ready because of the Baba's birthday. So I wanted to go inside the mandir and then do Suprabhatam and all that, you see. And then I wanted to go and sit at my usual place and then think about him more intensely. Not that I don't think about him. So while I was getting ready, you see, I told Suru, I said, Suru, this evening puppet show will be there. She said, what? What? I said, you want me to repeat it? I said, this evening there will be a puppet show. Now, mind you, she knew it because she, in the ladies' side, she had met all these artists. And they were all told that they were all waiting for the confirmation to come from the Sai Ajur Mandir. So she told me that, are you crazy? I said, no. But for a change, if you want to me, I will. She said, so many Shankar Mahadevan is a Bollywood star, puppet. Don't have such crazy ideas. Don't do anything. You see, just go. Just go. Go and do prayer. Huh? Don't tell me all this thing. Go. No, she brushed me aside. With love, of course. Came afternoon. At about 4 o'clock, I was getting ready to go to Varanta, and I told him, I said, Chala santosham. Happy, happy, happy. He said, why? And the puppet show will be there today. He said, did Swami tell you? I said, no. He said, did Swami talk to you? I said, no. He said, did Swami looked at you? I said, no. He said, Swami is busy. Today is birthday boy. Huh? Today birthday boy is worried about how many cakes have come. I was sitting in Varanda, and Mr. Ramakrishna, who works in the Mandir, he came to me and he said, Papat sir, there's a phone call for you from Swami's residence. I said, what? He said, yeah. He said, you have a mobile? I said, I don't have a bloody mobile. I never carry telephone, you see. I don't require. Chakravarti one day asked me, he said, Papa, give me your mobile number. I said, sir, I don't have any mobile. I don't carry mobile number. Mobile is in London. He said, you come from London and you don't brought your mobile? I said, I don't need mobile to talk to God. I don't need it. I have to look within myself and I can talk to him, That's what I believe. I don't need mobile. So this guy, Ramakrishna, also asked me the same thing. He said, Papa, sir, you got a mobile? I said, no. He said, then talk to Chakravarti on my mobile. So he rang him up and he said, sir, Papat is on the line. So he said, Papat, Swami says that you be ready and sit in the front and you are going to give a talk. So I said, right, sir. Swami came. Birthday boy came. And he came straight to me and he said, Papa, are you ready? I said, yeah. So he made a fantastic statement. He said, when God is ready, you should be ever ready. Don't say you are ready. Say ever ready. Atma Vishwasam. Atma Nivedanam. Sister, Atma Nivedanam. Atma Vishwasam. And when I actually offered him the flower and bowed down to him, and then he looked at me and he said, Lamba Bolna. Meaning, that was our understanding between my master and this slave. He said, speak long. I went on and on and on and on. And all the artists, those who were supposed to perform, they were told that yes, there will be music concert. Number 1 item, number 2 item, Shankar Mahadevan will be the star of the evening. They were all tuning their instruments in the mandir and nothing happened. And when the talk was over, Swami immediately asked for the arti. We must understand him. Stand under the master and understand him. What exactly he wants? He wants explicit and implicit obedience. That is the first qualification is required. You don't become a general of the army just because you come from a good family or a brave family or come from a poor family or you come from Tatas or Birlas or Ambanis or Bill Gates. Huh? No, that is not the qualification required. How much do you love him? How much? Can it be defined? No. Can it be limited? No way. Can it be explicit? No. It has to be implicit also. Can it be only by words? No. Kayana, vachana, manasa, mind, body, and soul. Everything must be in complete synchrony, and then the symphony will sing majestic, brilliant music songs, which will delight and light everybody. Brothers and sisters, I think the time is nearing, and I heard the brother saying that, sister, sorry, I beg your pardon. They are one and the same for me. They are all reflection of Swami's love. He said that we are going to have some question answer sessions. Well, before you do that, I'll tell you one thing. I want to spend only, I hope you're not having any appointment, or I hope none of you are ready to book a table in Pizza Hut. because I used to go on Friday. Today is Saturday, so I don't go. Listen, we are all very concerned, rightly so, about the present conditions in which we have been placed. I'm taking the liberty of saying, you see, because I don't fear anybody, because Swami told me in the very first interview that where there is pure love, there is no fear. I don't fear anybody. No, I don't fear even Baba. If I would have been fearing him, then I would not have been standing there and talking. And I'm talking to you right now. Because I love him so much. There is no scope for any fear. So, I'm telling you honestly that this situation which has been created by Mr. A, B, C, and D, they are real. They are not artificial. They have been conceived at a great length. And they have been implemented with various motives. You see, the most amazing thing is that we were talking about stand under the master and you will understand. And the people, those who are now supposed to be in power and position, they do not understand the meaning of standing under the master. They think that they are the master. Because they are the office bearers and they are the trustees and God knows what all titles they would like to know. If they ask me, Popat, who are you? I said, I'm a bloody slave. That's it. And I enjoy my slavery. Because it's the best profession. You can't be sacked. No slave has ever been sacked. No, because he never paid. What will stop him from not doing swing and not doing things? Sorry. So, brothers and sisters, this situation is a passing cloud. Let me tell you one thing. But who will win? This afternoon, I received a message, you see, that my photograph and the program for today was sent to some center in London, and they were told that don't stop sending all these your programs to us. You know, the underlining thought was that we don't belong to your group. So this groupism has started. You see, I mean, within 10 years, our first achievement was we created Mudanalli. Now, as if that was not good enough, you know, so now we have created a global council. And God knows how many things are going to be further done and how many further things will collapse. Some of them are real. Some of them are pack of cards. You give one fook and it's not there. Life is like that. But yeah, Magan Bhai gaikale mane malela. He met me yesterday. We had tea together. Huh? You're telling me he's no more? Yes. He passed away in sleep. Does it take very long time to pull the string for God? Huh? Tell me. Ask yourself. If somebody said that he's Fanneka was the idiot who was in the Darbar of Akbar, like Tansen and like Birbal. But Birbal was real. This guy was idiot. But he thought that he knows everything and he is all in all and he is one of the right-hand men of Emperor Akbar. He was not the right-hand man. He was not even a finger. He was not even the nail. He was nobody. So there are people who say that they are the masters. Don't send me these emails. Don't do this thing. Don't do that. You will report to me. These are all passing clouds, my brother and sisters. Today you are hell and hearty and one little jerk, one of the chamber of the heart is not operating and then you see the drama. The cardiac surgeons are making money like hell. So what are we trying to boast? What are you trying to say that I am commanding it, I am controlling it, I will do it. I will not allow you to sing, I will not allow you to talk, I will not do this, I will not give you a place to surrender. Pardon my language, you know, I'm being in the army, you know, I'm not that it's a slang, but we express our inner feeling by telling you that you just bloody shut up. You are nobody. Don't try to be somebody. No, it doesn't work like that with God. When you accept Him as the ultimate, there is no question of any duplicate. There is no question of any second in command. There is only one command, the Field Marshal. There was only Field Marshal Manek Shah. He was the only Field Marshal. One in, at that time, India's population was 80 million. Today it is 140 million, I'm told, or maybe 130. It doesn't matter. These are all numbers. brothers. So don't get carried away by all these people, those who are doing these mischiefs, you see. I call it children's game, you go to Jew Beach, and little children, 4 years, 5-year-old, they make a beautiful castle and they will try and make a beautiful garden. And suddenly, after 10 minutes, one wave comes from the other side and everything is swept away and there is nothing left but the sand. Who is the witness? The sand. Who is the witness in this case in Sathya organization? Baba. Baba. We forget that. What else can I say? I think I have said enough. I hope it has gone through you. Don't allow it to go through. Contemplate upon it tonight. Popat is telling you the gospel truth which I have learned only from my master. I have nobody to give you any advice or any instructions or answer your questions. I am not a bloody scholar. I don't want to. I am a slave. I'm the only slave probably in this history of India that a slave is enjoying his slavery. I don't get tired thinking about him, talking about him, looking at him. I'm in love. I'm in love. Eternal, inconceivable, infinite. I have run out of dictionary, but I'm a great scholar. Who made it? Baba. I love it. I told him, I confessed him that I'm your slave. I also told him that, he asked me, if you are a slave, then who am I? I said, you are my master and you are everything. Everything which is conceivable and non-conceivable. That is Atmani Vedanam. Sister, you gave me this. I'm very grateful to you. Nobody has given me such subject. I opened my heart. The most important day in my life is not on 5th of October when I was born, or maybe the 27th of June when I will die. It's not important. People are dying every day and they are getting born every day. But the important thing is that 15th of January, year 2011, when my master asked me, who are you? And he talked to me, not as a devotee, not as his son, but as a master to his slave. You know one thing, in the older times, I'm using the word, the black people, they were used as slaves, you know that. If you look at the history of the United States of America and Britain, everywhere, and the slaves have no say. And they were treated very roughly. And they never got any money either. They were picked up from the childhood and they die. That's it. But so long as they are there, they are very loyal, they are very intimate. What the wife doesn't know, the slave knows it. You know that. He will look for the socks in the morning and the slave will tell you that where he has kept it last night. The wife doesn't know where he has kept it. Because she has got 5 cupboards. They are all full of dresses. What I'm trying to tell you is that I'm not trying to tell you that you convert yourself and become slave, because now the days are gone. You see, now it's too late. When he was there, you should have told him. He would have given you a blank check. Now it's too late. Right? It's time. I've taken 10 minutes more. Let's have 10 minutes of question answer. If you have any questions.
Thank you, Ajit Uncle.
Sister, before you go on, 2 words. I want to just write it down tonight in your diary. The essence of my talk is understand. Stand under the master. Don't try to show off. And second thing is surrender. He is sir. You are under. You will remain under all the time, and the day when you will die, you will also be buried. Or you'll become ash and with one waft of wind and you will be flown away like dust. Huh? Yes, sister. I'm ready.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Ajit Uncle.
When God is ready, I'm ever ready. When God's devotee is ready, I am also ever ready.
I think you've pretty much answered most questions as you'd said anyway, but there was one which I was going to ask a bit more specifically that we got asked, if you don't mind. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Ajit Uncle, I've got here, and you've touched on this, that Sai devotees around the world have suffered a lot of pain and anguish as a result of the global council situation. Families and friends have been split. Sai centers in entire countries have become divided. What would you say to those devotees affected by such disunity?
I will tell you and give you the example of Corona. Huh? Does anybody like Corona? If somebody says, even jokingly, that he likes it, you feel like hitting him. When a person dies because of Corona, I have seen in India, and I'm sure you have witnessed in UK, that there is a waiting list for the burial also, right? And the relatives, they are not even allowed to go. Or maybe only 4 people from the family and another 4 people from the nearest relations. Nobody likes that situation. But it happens. It's happening every day. Sister, the anguish, the word anguish, you used it, isn't it? Who created this anguish? Sunset? Sunrise? Midnight? Afternoon tea? No. It's a kind of feeling that we ourselves have created in our own minds. As if it is going to be a permanent bloody thing and it will not move like Trafalgar Square, it will never move. Those lines are sitting there, they will never get up. But everybody goes and sits on them. Well, that's life. So all those people, those who are making all this fuss about, global council, what do they know about global? Huh? You say that you are running a global council. Do you have a center in Eskimos where they are having at the edge of, do you have any center in Kargil at the height of 21,000 feet where snow never melts? What is your conception of global? And what is the council? What council? How many people? How many people? And what caliber? And what is their consistency, persistency, and intensity? How long will this drama will continue? Are we fooling ourselves or we are trying to fool others? Swami created World Council. What is the difference between world and globe? You mean to say that Swami's English is very poor or what? Why did he not say Global Council? He said World Council. Then he said Prasanthi Council as the coordinating agency. And then is Sri Sathya International Organization, which will look after all the countries of the earth. He did not use the word global. World. Because everybody is familiar with the world map. Our concept, we think that moon is a real thing. Is it? They are still trying to find out whether there is any water in the moon or not. Sister, let us grow up. Let this drama continue. How long it will continue? Tell me. How long? Mudanali became a very big issue, isn't it? Some idiots went to even the court. And Madhusudan was going around collecting money from Tom, Dick, and Harry. Is he traveling now because of Corona? No. Is Mudanali now any issue? No. Those who are there, they are there. They will die there. Either in Chikbalapur town or in the Mudanali, one of the rooms. So, what impact have they made? Tell me. Has it made any because of Mudanali, has anybody stopped Aarti in Prasanthi Nilayam? No. Aarti is going in the morning also, it is going on in the evening also. Baba is sitting there also. If you can't sit, you have bloody problem. Huh? If your eyesight is weak, what can you do? You got a cataract, go and get operated. But don't say that Baba is not there. Don't think that Baba is not aware of all these things. This is the drama that he himself has created it for, to see how many are actually my devotees, how many are my slaves, how many are believing what I said was the gospel truth. They want to change the situation, which I identified it as the right one. And now you are telling me that you are very brilliant, you are PhD from Cambridge University and bloody Oxford University, and you are the right person and you know everything under the sun. Big joke. Huh? How long will it carry on? Why don't you believe in him? He is the doer. Swami told me, in spirituality, there is no ownership. There is no knowership. There is no ownership. There is no knowership. There is no doership. Sister, there is no ownership either. No, Muddalal is mine. Prasanthi Nilayam is mine. You can't sit there. You can't do that. You can't do that. You brought that Prasanthi Nilayam when you came out of your mother's womb? Huh? My father left the estate. And now I go and tell everybody that I'm a very rich man. I got 100 crores in my, 100 million in my Barclays account. When did you learn to make money? You never learned money. It was left by your father. You were only the nominee. And after you go, your son will become. And after he goes, another grandson will become. Huh? Tell me. Have I answered your question?
Yes, I think that's definitely answered that one. And Ajit Uncle, if you don't mind, I know you said 10 minutes. We've got one more, if you don't mind taking one more.
I'm here. Sister, my next appointment with God is only at 4 o'clock in the morning. I have changed my timing of Suprabhatam. Yeah. So I meet him first time.
So the last question we'd like to ask you is pertaining to the UK now, and you must know what's happened here in terms of centers and the SSIO and Global Council, but what action can Sai devotees in the UK take to remedy the damage caused to the organization?
Shall I tell you one thing very frankly, sister? I hope many of you may not like my answer, but I've lived in UK for last 37 years, you see, and I'm British citizen and I'm holding Her Majesty's passport. So I'm very loyal to her because she's a beautiful lady and she's like my grandmother, you see. You are asking me a question and my answer is very simple. Just enjoy the drama. It will end. It may not end according to your time and your watch, but it will certainly end and Swami will pull the string. The people, those who think that they are the doer, Napoleon Bonaparte said he was the greatest emperor. Where is he now? Hitler thought that he was the brilliant man and he was the owner of the entire Europe. And he gave a hard time to Russians. Did he? Huh? Tell me. Show me one man from the history of this world who actually has made impact. Absolute impact. Has anybody won? Yes, Gandhiji made. But he was skeleton. He was walking with a stick. He never said, I'm strong. People, those who are claiming that now they are in power and they have the authority and they can do anything. Sathya Sai Baba, he did this and that. Baba didn't know much about worldly life, how things change, you see. Swami, have you read my note on the Facebook about my last interview with Baba? Huh? What Swami said? That people, those who are around me and those who are near to me, they think that I have a memory problem. I don't know what I'm thinking. They doubt even my divinity. He confessed it. My master was telling me how much pain he must have suffered at that time when he said that. And what Baba said is happening, isn't it? What he did it. What he himself did it, and everything was published in Sanatana Sarthi, and what he created has been now brushed aside, have been shut down, have been dumped, pardon my language, have been dumped. as a trash. You think that Baba is going to leave it just like that and he will smile. That means you have not understood this Sathya Sai avatar. You think Krishna forgot what Duryodhana and Dushasana was doing to Draupadi, and he forgave them, and he forgave them. Huh? He made sure that the bloody man dies. He was treated like a dog by Bhim. He ensured that Arjuna and 5 brothers, they must become the warriors and they must become the victorious. If you look at Mahabharata and study it very carefully, you will understand every time he gave the last weapon of advice to Arjuna and Bhima, that look, this is how you have got to do it. This is his weak point. You mean to say that Baba is a silent witness? Huh? You must be crazy. We all must be crazy if you think that Baba is not aware of this, what is going on. He is going on because he wants to teach us a lesson in a very hard way. Because we refuse to learn alphabets and we want to become PhD. So, sister, I think it's time to pray. I will do it in my typical Sai Puppet style. Sarvavasya samarpayami to Sarveshwara, Satchidananda Swarupa, Sarvantaryami Swarupa, Satya Dharma Shanti Prema Swarupa Avtara, Satyam Shivam Sundaram Avtara, Sarva Devata Avtara, Sarva Shakti Swarupa Avtara, Sarva Mantra Tantra Yantra Swarupa Avtara, Sadguru, Devguru, Jagadguru, Sri Satchidananda Prabhu, Sri Sainath Maharaja. It is Sri Shanichar Vare. Huh? It's almost, what's the time in London now?
It's almost 3:30 p.m. almost.
3:30 p.m. Baba, Koti Koti Sashtang Danvat Namaskaram, Prema Purvak, Hriday Purvak, Bhakti Bhav, Shraddha Evam Nishtha, Astha Purvak. These words are very, very hi-fi words. On every word, I can write a thesis and get a PhD. You know what is PhD? Not PhD, the one which Oxford Dictionary or Collins Dictionary will describe it. Not PhD from Cambridge University or Hartford University. PhD means pure-hearted devotee who is eligible to become slave. He is PhD. So, Sarvasya Samarpayami to Sarveshwara. Yes, we can do one thing as a family. And that is the prayer which Bhagavan himself has said. And that is applicable for one and all. Swasti prajabhyam paripalayanta nyayena margena mahi mahisha go brahmanebhya subhamastu nityam samasta lokan sukhina bhavantu. Those who are doing it, those who intend doing it for further, those who intend to carry on for future, they let them be very happy. Let them be very happy. Let them be very joyful. Let them be very healthy. Let them also succeed. You know, sister, gold is very precious, but you can't make your necklace unless and until that same gold goes inside the fire. And it has to prove that, yes, he has to melt. He has to get hammered. He has to be designed. Isn't it? Gold doesn't become precious just because it's yellow. No. That's the outer show. The inner brilliance and the inner beauty comes out when he gets into the fire. We are in fire now, isn't it? We are being fired. Like this boy who sent this message about today's program, he was fired. Don't send the bloody email to us. Big joke. Huh? You press one button, it is deleted. That's your life. I mean, I'm talking about real life. Huh? I'm not talking about computer. Otherwise, Apple will feel bad. Sister, look at it in the broader perspective. Do not get cowed down because what is happening and what is going to happen and what these people are up to. That's not our problem. What is Master doing? You think he is enjoying it? Of course he is enjoying it, our stupidity. He loves it. Because he believes that despite giving you so much, he gave every drop of his blood for me and you and everybody, his entire creation. And we still not became worthy to become Forget about devotee. The devotee is a big thing, my dear sister. Tyagaraja, Narsi Mehta, Prahlad, Dhruv, Nachiketa, Arjuna, Yudhishthira. I'm not talking about those great personalities. I'm talking about puppet. I'm very happy as a slave. I don't want to become big. I want to become good in his eyes. When he sees me, he must smile. He must be full of joy. He must be anxious to meet me. If we cry for him, it's not a big thing. He must cry for me. How many times Dr. Kishan Gadia used to call me up in the morning from Prasanthi Nilayam, and he said, Papat, yesterday evening after Bhajan Swami was asking me, London phone karo, doctor, find out when Papat is going to come. I said, I'll come day after tomorrow. He said, are you sure? I said, yeah. And Suru, who was in the bedroom, and she came and told me, whom are you talking to? I said, Baba wants me to be there. I'm leaving tomorrow by British Airways flight. Good night. Maza aata hai. The joy which you give it to Master is unbelievable, undescribable, unimaginable. You will have to become puppet to understand that. Those people, those who are trying to be great now and doing all this mischief, I'm using a very mild word. I can be a very nasty man because I've been trained to be nasty with Pakistanis, when I was in the army. So don't misunderstand me. But believe you me, those who are trying to be at it by creating all this confusion and mischief, they will be, when God will have this last laugh, then they will say, how stupid we were. I wish you would have understood what slavery is. Just imagine. Who was the greatest champion of boxing? Madam? Sister? Tell me.
Do you want to say Muhammad Ali?
Muhammad Ali. I saw his last video, not in BBC, it was shown here in India. He was held by 3 people. He was suffering from Parkinson. He was held by 3 people to move from one place to another place. He could not walk. He was the world champion of boxing, and he used to hit everybody in the ring, and the guy used to cry and cry, and nobody could beat Muhammad Ali. And when I saw him struggling, he could not hold his glass. He was suffering from Parkinson. His hands were shaking like what I'm doing it right now. And then I told my wife, I said, look, here is a man. He was the whole world acclaimed he is the greatest champion of boxing. Who was the greatest footballer? From Argentina. Did you see his condition at the last moment? Sister, those who are in power, they think that they are brilliant and they are the mighty, and they are the God of death doesn't spare anybody. If you lose sight of that reality, then I would say that you are a stupid man. That's a very mild saying. And I've got no regret to say that you are an idiot. What you are doing, what office you are holding, I couldn't care less. I have seen Bonaparte coming and going as a beggar. I have seen Hitler also dying as a dog. He committed suicide. He committed suicide. He could not face the world. He could not face his own actions. Do you know that, no? I'm a student of history. That was one of my subjects when I did my graduation. Where are they? Where is the power? Where is the brilliance? Where is your intellect? It's all limited liability. That gives you a jerk, that's all. If some people did not enjoy my talk, I am sorry. I love it. You know why? Because you have given me the opportunity. I'm very grateful to you and, of course, to my master. That I could introduce myself in the correct perspective. So you all people should not go with crazy idea that Papat is good and he's great. No, Papat is a big zero. But when Baba comes and stands in front of me, I become number 10. And when I give up wrong ideas and wrong stupidity, then he puts another 0 and I become 100. When I give up my donorship and ownership, he puts another 2 zeros and I become 10,000. And then when I say that, Baba, I know nothing and I'm big 0, and I realize that I'm not the owner, I'm not the donor, I'm not the knower, I'm nobody, I'm not the body. He said, you are 1,000,000 and I will put another 2 zeros. But moment that 1 is removed, the zeros will always have zeros. You can put the entire alphabet, 26 alphabets, isn't it? You put 26 zeros, but without 1, they are all zeros. Remember that. So let these people tonight do introspection and find out whether they want to be number 10. Which is the best address in UK? In the whole world? 10 Downing Street. You remove that 1, the Prime Minister will not stay there for 1 day even. Right, sister? So, shall I say thank you? No, in family we don't say thank you.
We're just waiting for Renwanti to say something.
Who?
Renwanti, I think she should be speaking in just a moment. She's waiting to unmute her microphone.
Oh, very good. I'm here. I'm not in a hurry, because since the time I met Baba, hurry, worry, and curry, I've left it. That's why I'm healthy.
That was a beautiful.
Oh, she's calling from Russia?
No.
I'm ready.
That was a beautiful and thought-provoking satsang. That was a very beautiful and thought-provoking satsang.
Ranuben, you haven't changed, have you?
It's not Ranu, it's Renu.
Renuben, same thing, you see. It's a question of pronunciation. The relationship will remain the same.
Yeah.
Very kind of you.
I did not get a chance to introduce you, but I think you get your introduction.
I don't need introduction, sister.
I know, but you've given it yourself, so that's fine.
I don't need introduction. Swami never introduced me. You know that one thing. Swami, one day, there was, this, before, during the Grama Seva, there used to be this afternoon, there used to be students' talks, and then Swami had put me also on the mat and he said, Popat, this afternoon you also give a talk. So, Vice Chancellor, when he was told officially by Swami that today afternoon Popat will also speak, he was ready to introduce me, and Swami stopped him. Swami immediately stopped him and said, Giri, don't introduce Popat. Popat doesn't need any introduction. Slaves are not introduced. No. I am what I am. That's it. I'm happy. Chala santosham. Very, 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 very happy. I remember once I asked Swami, I said, Baba, are you happy or not? Boys have come, girls have come, all the students, your children have come. Are you happy? He said, Popat, I'm happy. I'm over the moon. I started laughing. Baba said, you are happy, no? I said, of course we are happy. We are here, we are the master. At the end of the day, one has to be happy. People, those who have done all this mischief, ask them, are they happy? Their conscience is biting them. People, those who are on the other side of the fence, ask them, are you happy? No, they are also not happy because they have been ill-treated. So, why you get ill-treated? Why you take it so consciously? Why are you so thick? It's a passing cloud. How long somebody will rule you? Even the Lord Yama cannot rule you. Yeah. He can punish you, but he cannot rule you. Nobody can take away the joy from my face. He can take away my money from my pocket if I'm idiot, if I'm not careful. But nobody can take away my joy. My inner joy, nobody can touch me. That's how Swami was telling me. Become invincible. Nobody can touch you. Your inner joy must remain intact. You are in control. I will decide when I'm happy. What makes me happy? It is my criteria. I'm not dictated by anybody. I refuse to be dictated by anybody. That's why I became fearless. That's why I'm fearless. And when I will die, I will be fearless. Well, I will not be able to vouch and prove it to you. You can check with my wife and she will tell you that Popat went very happily. And she will also say that I'm also very happy the way he went. Thumbs up.
On behalf of all of us, and especially the Sri Satya Sai International Organization UK, I'd like to thank you from the bottom of my heart for sharing your experiences and thoughts with all of us. I think we should stand up for what is right, even if we stand alone. When we follow the path of Sathya and Dharma and implicitly, as you said, obey the divine command, we have nothing to fear. We will surely have the protection of the divine. No doubts about that.
Sister,
so for joining.
Pardon my interference. You see, I'm anxious to share this matter with you. You see, what is happening and what is going to happen in the near future, I can envisage it, but I do not want to forecast it because I'm not a weatherman, you see, not from BBC One in any case. Let me tell you one thing, that the manner in which Baba's commands are being compromised, the manner in which Baba's instructions are being violated, that is very painful to me. That is very painful to me. Yeah, because it doesn't matter by what name you call yourself or what name you give to that new creation that you made it. I'm not interested in that, you see, because they are all passing cloud. Empires have come and fallen. Huh? London Bridge is falling down. So, sister, what is disturbing is that people, those who are supposed to be protecting Swami's heritage and hierarchy, they are the people who are breaking his command and giving him so much of pain. This is painful. Not the organization, not the files and the documents, not the WhatsApp and the email messages which are going around the corner. What is disturbing to me is that why can't we have one master who gave his life, every drop of his blood? If I'm, at least in the eyes of my master, I should be honest. I should be sincere. I should be loyal. Is he asking for more? Why can't we live together as a family? Why do we have to fight? One Mahabharata was not enough. One First World War was not enough. One Second World War was not enough. Now the bloody Corona is fighting with us. That is not good enough. Why do we have to create more problems? When people are dying and we are looking for our chair and looking for more chairs. Huh? Why? Why this craze for ruling? Whom do you want to rule? Hitler could not rule the winter of Russia. Could he rule it? Could he avoid it? That became his graveyard, isn't it? So we must understand in the right perspective, sister. Don't feel sorry. I'm telling you from my heart, don't feel sorry. If at all you want to pray, you pray for these people, those who are creating this very tragic situation, that God must guide them properly. You should be God-loving and not God-forsaken. Position and power does not remain forever. It will never again. It will never happen in the history of the world, ever. This is the gospel truth. And what legacy we will leave? Anarchy, destruction, difference, hardship. Is it what you are born for? Huh? If you can't give money, at least you can give a big smile. It doesn't cost anything, isn't it? How Swami was doing it? He had no pockets. He had no money in his hand. And he was giving anandam. Not anandam, Satchit anandam. consciously. We are in the family, so now I have already taken 40 minutes more. Next time when you invite me, give me 2 hours. Okay? Right. Swami never gave me time. He never stopped me either.
In which case, I'm not sure whether Renwanti's sort of microphone is still allowing the echoes. I don't know if you want to try once more, Renwanti, and if not, then I guess I can
Sister,
thank Ajit Uncle.
Sister, I can go on here for another 2 hours. That's not a big deal. But you see, tomorrow is Sunday, so I took the liberty of exceeding the time, you know. And in family, if people are looking at the watch, that means it's a bad manner, you know. If somebody is talking and looking at the watch, that means are you going to go and meet your girlfriend or what? Huh? Or your boyfriend? In the family, you enjoy. Tomorrow is holiday. HOLY, not HOLI. Every day is a holiday, isn't it? With God, everything is a holiday. I work like that. I'm not wearing a watch. Neither I have any watch here. When you talk about your lover, you know, you lose the sense of time. That shows that you are really loving him, isn't it? You ask this. Nowadays, you know, that kind of love also doesn't exist, you see, unfortunately. But I've experienced that. Next year, it will be 50 years. So I can very proudly say that I'm experienced. That pure love must exist for God, for our master. Whether he was God or not, I will tell you one thing more, sister. And I hope those of you who are not left, you are still listening to me. Whether he was God or not, that was his problem. That's not my problem. My problem is only to make sure that I genuinely believe that he is my master. That's all. If he is God, good luck to him. If he has got power to materialize and dematerialize and rematerialize, it's not my problem either, you see. I'm not concerned. I know one thing, he can do anything and everything. That's enough for me. Like Baba says, when the 6-year-old boy is sitting in the mother, compartment in the train, he does not ask, Mama, have you taken my ticket or not? Have you got my tiffin or not? Have you got money or not? Have you got my dress or not? He is enjoying the scenery outside. The train is moving. He is enjoying the scene. Popat is enjoying the scene. All this, what is going on right now, World Council and Global Council. World Council, it's like, sounds like a cricket match, Opening batsman has gone. Opening batsman was a World Council. He has gone. Now, middle order has come. What happened to the opening batsmen? They are already out. Already out. Mark my word. Sister, mark my word. I will not be living for another 30 years. But you will be sure me. And remember me, that this is what Puppet said on 28th evening. It will happen. That's the law of God. Everything will be taken. Nothing will be left undone. Everything will happen not at your time, but at the right time. And when it will happen, you will not have the last laugh. You will feel sorry. An empty number of chances have been given and warning given. But destiny plays its own role.
Sai Ram, thank you, Ajit Bhai, for your final words. If anyone has further questions or needs clarification, please do not hesitate to get in touch with me or any of the council members via info@satyasai.uk. Loving Sai Rams to you all. And once again, on behalf of all of us, thank you so much.
Jai Sai Ram.
Jai Sai Ram.
Thank you very much. Shubh Ratri, Shubh Samachar, Anandam.